So how would you explain what the hashtag Gamergate is about to an outside person? The typical standard definition is that it's about ethics in video game journalism, and I kind of disagree with this standard definition. Before we continue on, let me explain who I am. My name is White Alien. I go by the Twitter handle at VidGameJournal, and I've pretty much been covering this hashtag since October of 2014, which is pretty much getting close to 1 year right now. I've been actively using the hashtag and have been witness to most of the happenings, the drama inside and outside of this hashtag. So the way that I would describe what this hashtag is to a outside person is in fact in 3 steps. The first part is that there are these small but very vocal people who are carrying these huge microphones, and what they say gets taken seriously by the mainstream press, by the industry at large in general. And they are accusing you, and I'm talking about the person who is asking what Gamergate is about. They're accusing you of some serious, heinous crimes. For example, let's say that these people with these megaphones, they've accused you that you are in fact a rapist. Or let's say they accused you of being, let's say, a pedophile. The second part of this definition of what Gamergate is about is that you are not able to respond back to these allegations. There's simply no way to reach them and to provide your defense. All forms of communications are being shut down. They have been in fact actively been censored. And the reasons that they give for not listening to you, they'll use something along the lines of their standard excuses that you are a white, straight male. And for that reasons alone, you should just be silent and simply accept these allegations as the truth. The third part of this definition that I would give is that you imagine that you went knocking down on the door of their house to simply what you want to say directly to their face, that these allegations that they have hurled at you are completely nonsense, that they are simply untrue. And imagine the door has not been locked. You come in, you open the door, and inside of their living room, that you find out that these people who have made all these terrible allegations, that they are organizing, that they're having this big orgy, and they're having this big orgy between themselves and minors. And outside in their yard, they're organizing dogfights. So you learn that these are very hypocritical, unethical people, while they themselves just pretend to be these moralists, and they accuse you of the most terrible things imaginable. So in this example, the small story that I've given, the people who are hurling these accusations, well, these are the video game journalists. And I need to quickly note that these aren't just a small but very powerful group of people. They don't resemble all of the journalists, because the majority of video game journalists are in fact good, ethical people. The person who these accusations are being aimed at, well, these are the gamers. Finally, the part where you knock on their door and you just discover that they are a bunch of corrupt people, very unethical people. Well, this is where ethics in video game journalism comes in. This is where the corruption comes in. Simply put, a lot of people who are using this hashtag believe that by improving the standards of ethics in video game journalism, that the first part of this story simply can never occur, that they simply cannot make these wild allegations, and that you also are be able to respond back to these allegations. boiled down, it actually comes down to a very basic human right, simply in the Western civilizations. You see it in almost every court book, and that is the right to face your accuser, simply to provide your defense and argue that these accusations are not true. So you kind of see that the standard definition for this hashtag Gamergate, that is about ethics in video game journalism, that's not sufficient enough. Simply put, because it leaves out those two first parts of the story that I used as an example to describe what Gamergate is about, that there are these journalists throwing serious accusations towards the gamer community, and that gamers have no way to respond back to provide their defense. So we just have to look at towards a person like Anita Sarkeesian, who is saying some serious things about gamers and the community at large, and the gamers aren't able to provide their defense. In fact, journalists have gone so far as to protect this person from criticism. This is also why you see that the hashtag Gamergate is used in association with the person Anita Sarkeesian. And this also kind of explains why people suddenly started demanding better standards on ethics in video game journalism starting from last year, and not years and years before, because gamers were already then aware that the video game press was in fact not all that ethical to start off with. So why didn't this hashtag Gamergate start then under maybe a potentially different hashtag? And it gives a potential reason, the story that I have just given you, why other people have joined under this hashtag. People who are coming in from outside of the gaming community. People, for example, like Milo Yiannopoulos, who has clearly said, even for example in the afternoon SPJ Airplay panel, that in fact the people who are using the hashtag Gamergate, that they really didn't care about ethics in video game journalism. I'll just quickly state here that the main reason that I'm using this hashtag actually is to improve journalistic standards inside of video game journalism.